Hi guys, and welcome back to Car Focused. In today's video, you join me in a car that hasn't been on the channel for quite a while. In fact, it hasn't been on the channel for a year, and that is my 2018 SEAT Leon Cupra 300. Now, the last video a year ago, that was my 1 year ownership summary video, just covering my experiences of owning the car over the previous year. And obviously we're a year later now, so that brings me on to today's video, which is my 2 year ownership summary with this car. Now, the fact I've had this car 2 years speaks volumes in itself. This car has been absolutely brilliant, to cut a long story short. I've had no mechanical problems with it. The car did come with 2 years warranty. I've only had to use that warranty once, and that was to cure a rattling dash binnacle that I had, which was rectified. I did have reports of leaky shock absorbers on the MOTs. I've had that on both MOTs now, and I did take that back to be looked at, and they said it wasn't enough to warrant the shock absorbers being replaced, and it's just flagged up as a minor advisory on the MOT. So yeah, that, you know, ideally I would have liked it to have been replaced, but they didn't want to replace them, but it hasn't seemed to have gotten any worse. So yeah, there's that. And then other than that, I've just had your routine maintenance consumables like your tyres and your brakes. I've just actually bought 2 new tyres for the front wheels of the car, and I've got Continental Sport Contact 7s all around on this car, and I've used those tyres since I've owned it. Brilliant tyres, equally as good as the Michelin's, and they're a bit cheaper as well. I got 2 tyres for £260 delivered, which isn't too bad at all for a 19-inch tyre of that kind of calibre. And then I've replaced the front and rear discs and pads. I did the rear discs and pads about a year ago, and then the front discs and pads more recently. If you buy those items from SEAT, there is a hell of a premium put on them, whereas you can buy exactly the same discs and pads from Autodoc. I think they're made by TRL or something like that, but they're exactly the same, made by the same people, and you can get them for a fraction of the cost. So I got the front discs and pads for less than £200, which compared to the price SEAT were giving me is an absolute bargain. So yeah, they are literally the only things that I've had to spend on this car are just your general wear and tear items. The engine's been absolutely solid. I've had no other issues, no issues with electrics or anything like that. The car has just been spot on, and it's not really massively expensive to run. If you do nurse this car, you know, if you drive it nice and slowly and just cruise around in comfort mode, not really getting on boost that much, you will get up into the high 30s, early 40s, and if you're doing dual carriageways or slow country roads, you will see mid 40s as well. But my kind of general driving around, I'm averaging around 33 miles per gallon, just normal driving around. And then if I get a bit heavy on the right foot and stick it in Cupra mode, that does go down to like the mid 20s, as you'd expect. But it's a fairly frugal car when you want it to be, considering you've got 300 horsepower at your disposal. Yeah, it's not really massively expensive to run. I just need to do an overtake here because I've got a mobile library in front of me. We'll just ease past that. See, I bought this car to be fast, comfortable, practical, and to also kind of fly under the radar, and this car just ticks all the boxes. It looks nice and sleek from the outside, but it's not too shouty and in your face. It's rapid when you want it to be. You stick it in its fully aggressive mode in Cupra, stick the gearbox into manual, it literally rattles through the gears, you get nice pops and crackles, and it flies as well. It's pretty much quicker than most things on the road, and it will surprise a lot of things as well. And this is just coming from a standard car. There's no fettling done here. This car is totally standard. And also, it's been practical. I've got 5 doors, I've got Isofix, so I stick my lad's car seat in the back and I take him to car shows in this and stuff. We go to car meets and things like that when I'm not using the RS. And it's absolutely perfect. And also, another thing that, you know, the car has adaptive damping as well, so you can stiffen things up when you want, because it does feel a little bit kind of wallowy when it's in its comfort mode, but it's obviously designed to be comfortable. Yeah, and the car literally has fulfilled the role I wanted it to fulfill perfectly. I don't really have any complaints about the car that I've picked up over the last 2 years. There's one annoying thing, and that's the auto stop start. You have to disable it every time you get in the car. Sometimes I forget, and then I go to kind of pull away from a junction and it's turned the engine off and it has to fire up and you have to wait a second. You can use devices such as Carly and that kind of thing, and you can actually have that permanently off, but I just don't like messing around with the car settings like that, really. I just keep it in its standard kind of guise. So yeah, there's that. The seats as well, I found those, they're not very buckety at all, and they're not that supportive. So if you do want to kind of go for it a bit on some nice country roads, you find yourself almost sliding out of them. So we could do with a bit more bolstering, a bit more solid bolstering as well, because these are very, very soft on the bolsters. But good thing about that is they don't wear very much at all. These seats have actually lasted incredibly well. There's not really much wear on the bolsters or anything like that. Whereas if you get a harder bolstered seat, they do tend to wear through the leather quite quickly. And yeah, just general quality of the interior. The steering wheel hasn't really worn that much. It's still looking pretty good. I've not really had any other creaks and stuff other than the dash binnacle creaking, which is now fixed. Another bad thing actually is the sound system. It's not great, and for some reason when you're running CarPlay, or you're running your phone, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, the volume isn't massively loud. It could be doing with being a bit louder, but when you're on radio, the volume seems louder, so I don't know what that's all about. And also, you do get rattling in the door cards when you've got the music up and you've got the bass up a bit. The door cards can't really handle the bass that comes through the speakers. Issue I get with a lot of Fords as well. But they are really the only kind of bugbears that I have on the car. Everything else has been absolutely spot on. Like I say, the way it drives, you can literally just kick back, let the automatic gearbox just go through the gears nicely. It's not jerky or anything like that. It's very smooth. Yeah, it's just a superb car, and for the value as well, you can't really get much better. And that's kind of an annoying thing with a car as well, because it's such good value for money. I'm kind of looking at the market thinking, I wouldn't mind changing it. I've had this for 2 years. It might be nice just to change it up a little bit, something different. I've been looking at the is it the F31 BMW 335D X drives, the touring version. Rapid car, really economical. And for decent ones, yeah, like 20 grand, 21 grand, and I paid 21 grand for this. But the problem is, when I got this, the interest rates were a lot lower, so I'm going to take a hit now no matter what. I am at the stage now where I have a little bit of equity in this car, so the loan to value crossover has just kind of taken hold. So now I owe less than the car's worth, so I could probably put like £1,000 down towards a deposit for another car, and I could probably finance a bit myself. So I could probably put like £3 grand down. But I'm still going to get a worse interest rate. The interest rates now are about 6% on average, I guess. So I'm going to be paying more per month when I could just keep this. So yeah, I don't really know, guys. What would you do? I was looking at the later Cupra, the Mark IVs, the VZ2, and yeah, you can pick them up for like 23 to 30 for used low mile cars. But then again, with the interest rates, I'm going to be paying more a month than what I am for this. And is the car really much better than this? I'm kind of stuck. But my 2-year warranty that I got with this car has just expired, so there's that as well. And it's if I run into any problems now with the car, so if the shock absorbers do go, I think they're £500 a corner or something. If something goes wrong with the engine, like I know these are prone to thermostat problems and that kind of thing, if that goes, I'll have to pay obviously for that as well. See, I don't really know what to do. Whereas a new Cupra VZ2, or nearly new Cupra with a few years warranty, is quite appealing. I know how good these Cupras are, so yeah, I don't really know. I don't know what to do, guys. But anyway, to summarize the video, the 2-year ownership experience, if you want to get one of these cars, if you're in the market for one of these cars, highly recommend them. And you could probably still get the 290 variants in dealerships as well, in used approved dealerships. So if you went and got like a 2019, do they go to 2020, the Mark IIIs car, you could get that with the used approved packages, with the warranty, the roadside assistance and that kind of thing. A very good buy indeed. If I could go back and buy, if I could go back to 2 years ago, I'd still make the choice, having known what I know now. So yeah, if you're looking to buy one, highly recommend it. Brilliant car, ticks all the boxes. Anyway, that's it from me. I think I've summarised 2 years experience nicely. There's nothing really else I can touch upon. If you've got any questions about the car, please let me know in the comments box below and I will answer them. I do my best to answer all the comments I get. And until the next video, guys, as always, take care and I shall see you soon.